Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Dr. Jenny Liu. I'm a board-certified dermatologist and I love to talk about all things derm related. And today, I want to talk about the Ordinary Glycolic Acid 7% Toning Solution. This product has been going viral. You've seen a lot of creative hacks on using this aside for just your skin. So let's dive a little bit deeper about glycolic acid in general as an ingredient. What are the benefits of this product and some of the ways you've been seeing it being used on social media. And if you enjoy learning more about product reviews and nifty skincare tips, hacks, then I'd love it if you can give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. First up, what is glycolic acid? We see it all the time. We talk about it all the time. Well, glycolic acid is the most popular type of alpha hydroxy acid. Alpha hydroxy acid is just a category of ingredients that not only includes glycolic acid, but also lactic acid. You may have even seen like mandelic acid, citric acid, etc. It is considered a group of exfoliants. And what that is basically ingredients that cleave the top layer of our skin, making it thinner, but also helps to remove the dead skin buildup, dullness, and improves hyperpigmentation. Glycolic acid, as I said, being the most popular type of alpha hydroxy acid, also has the most number of studies, clinical studies, scientific studies demonstrating its efficacy when used in skincare. Glycolic acid is derived from sugarcane, and it is the smallest form of alpha hydroxy acid. And here we're talking about the molecular weight. And that's important because in general, the smaller the molecule, the faster and more readily it's able to penetrate into the skin, which gives it its benefits, but also some more side effects potentially. And when it comes to using glycolic acid in skin, being an exfoliant is probably the most common way of using it. And we talk about alpha hydroxy acids as chemical exfoliants, and what we mean by that is literally they're doing its job at the molecular level. And what it's doing is alpha hydroxy acids, they actually act like scissors and cleave the bonds between the keratinocytes on the top layer of the skin, compared to say like a scrub where it's physically removing the dead skin cells by basically creating abrasion on the skin and loosening the dead skin cells up that way. And in general, we recommend chemical exfoliants over physical because they're more gentle, but also can offer additional benefits over time. Another benefit of using alpha hydroxy acid is because it speeds up the skin turnover, it helps to improve uneven skin texture and skin tone. Glycolic acid itself has been shown to actually inhibit tyrosinase enzyme, the enzyme that produces pigment. So another great use of glycolic acid is improving hyperpigmentation. Now, depending on the concentration, glycolic acid at lower concentrations, usually like 4% or less, also acts as a great humectant. So a higher concentration, so usually like 5, 10, 15, 20, they're going to be better at cleaving skin cells, so better acting as an exfoliant. But at lower concentrations, so 2 to 4% is what studies have shown, they actually help to hydrate the skin, so it acts as a great humectant, which is why sometimes you may see it in moisturizers that also helps to not just help with removing like the dead skin, exfoliating, but also act as humectant, and why they're really nice to use for individuals that have dry, ashy, flaky skin. Now, another benefit that is fairly unique to glycolic acid, maybe some evidence for lactic acid, but that's it. It's anti-aging benefits. So glycolic acid, being a much smaller molecule, is able to more readily penetrate into the skin, and actually has been shown to, aside from just acting as a humectant and hydrating the skin, temporarily plumping the skin, reducing fine lines and wrinkles, can actually go into the skin and stimulate our own skin's production of hyaluronic acid, as well as other protein sugar molecules in the skin that all kind of gives our skin that plumpness, elasticity, and may actually even support collagen synthesis. So it's a wonderful ingredient to add in, especially if you're looking to improve uneven skin texture, skin tone, and helping to tackle concerns of anti-aging. Now, having said that, it is certainly not for everyone, especially if you have more sensitive skin. Since it's able to penetrate into your skin more readily at a faster rate, often for individuals with rosacea or sensitive skin, it can cause a lot of burning, redness, as well as skin peeling that's undesired. And so This is where certainly the formulation matters, the percentage, the concentration matters as well. So if you do have sensitive skin, not that you can't use glycolic acid, but most individuals just find it a little irritating. But again, all comes down to formula. It may be a little bit of trial and error, figuring out which one with glycolic acid works best for you. But in general, for sensitive skin, we tend to recommend like lactic acid or polyhydroxy acids. Okay, now let's actually talk about the Ordinary's Glycolic Acid 7% Toning Solution. With over 100 million views on TikTok, I mean legit, this product has gone viral. I've seen it everywhere, used in so many different ways. And it's certainly a good product for its price and for the formula. First up, it's super affordable, $13 for an 8-ounce bottle, which I actually think can last you quite a bit of time, because in general, we do not recommend using an exfoliant on a daily regular basis unless that's the only thing you're using in your routine. Breaking down this product, it contains, as the name implies, 7% glycolic acid, and that's the only chemical exfoliant in this product. And 7% is a good concentration. Like, it's not super low where it's only acting as a humectant. Usually those are like 2 to 4%, but it's still like effective, but not super high where it's gonna cause significant irritation in most skin types. It's gonna help with use improve uneven skin texture, skin tone, hyperpigmentation, dullness, dead skin built-up, dry, flaky skin, and certainly over time, may help to refine your fine lines and wrinkles. Now, as the name applies, it's a solution, so usually used like a toner after cleansing, can be applied with a cotton pad or just with your bare hands. Overall, it is fairly lightweight, absorbs really quickly with minimal residue, although some people have reported it can leave a little slight filmy feel afterwards, but for the majority, it's fairly elegant, lightweight, and fast absorbing. Now, as you can see, this bottle is yellow colored, which I think is due to the glycolic acid ingredient itself, and certainly acids do have a smell. If you ever use products containing like ammonium lactate, which is a salt of lactic acid, like in lactin product, it does have a funny odor, and certainly not everybody is fond of that odor, and this product itself inherently does have some of that funkiness because of the acid ingredient in the product. Aside from the 7% glycolic acid, also contains a few other plant-derived ingredients, including Tasmanian pepperberry, which is essentially like an anti-inflammatory, potentially antioxidant ingredient, along with ginseng root and aloe, both again anti-inflammatory, soothing, may help overall make the glycolic acid work a little bit better on the skin, offer some hydrating properties, may help with reducing the irritation of the glycolic acid. All right, now let's actually get into the top 3 hacks I've seen this product being used. Number 1 is it being used as a deodorant. Now, in theory, this makes sense because honestly, that is how deodorants work. And the difference between deodorants and antiperspirants is that antiperspirants stop the sweating that we produce, and odor comes from the fact that bacteria on our skin and our underarms uses the sweat as well as dead skin as food, and that's how they create the odor. So antiperspirants, aside from stopping the sweat, does work as a deodorant. Now, deodorants themselves don't have any antiperspirant or sweat reducing properties. They merely, either through ways of reducing the bacteria burden or adding in fragrances to mask the odor, but basically reduce the body odor itself. And that is what the glycolic acid solution has been used for on social media. That's quite trending. So in theory, like I said, it can work because by lowering the pH of our skin, in some ways it's antimicrobial. It does help to reduce the bacteria, and in many ways that is how a lot of actual deodorants work. And the other benefit is that because it helps to exfoliate, it may help with some ingrown hairs that may come about from shaving. So certainly I can see this toning solution being a good alternative to deodorants, especially if you have a hard time finding a deodorant that doesn't cause irritation in the underarms. A lot of times natural deodorants with a heavy fragrance can cause a lot of allergic contact dermatitis. Now, the caveat here is glycolic acid itself can be very irritating, and our underarms already is a very sensitive area, prone to irritation, and actually have a slight defective skin barrier, if that makes sense, making it more sensitive, which is why when we talk about lightening dark underarms, we want to use very gentle products and be patient and take our time. A lot of the ingredients like exfoliants, brightening products, lightening products are quite irritating, and if you use too much or use incorrectly, it can actually cause more irritation that worsens hyperpigmentation. So it can definitely act as a double-edged sword. But speaking to its effect as a deodorant, I recommend applying it 1 to 2 times a week at most, like how you would apply a chemical exfoliant on your facial skin. Certainly with the ability to lower the pH, potentially the effects of it acting as a deodorant can be more long-lasting than a deodorant that just has fragrance and masking the smell. But you have to be very careful because, like I said, if you overdo it, it can cause more irritation and potentially worsening of that hyperpigmentation in the underarm. Now similarly, it can potentially over time with use, especially if you're careful with the use, help to not only act as deodorant but also reduce some of the underarm hyperpigmentation and shaving bumps that may come from just regular shaving. Now if you are looking for an antiperspirant, then this is not going to offer benefits. You will actually have to find a beauty product that is marketed as an antiperspirant. And for individuals that have super sensitive skin, I recommend probably giving this a try, a test area first before you just, go rogue and apply it all over your underarm. The second way I've seen this toning solution being used is as a scalp exfoliant. And I really like this concept. Our scalp skin is skin, and certainly dead skin buildup, oil buildup, and if you use a lot of products, that certainly can build up. And so using this to go into your scalp to remove that buildup, to create a healthier environment for hair growth, and indirectly help with a dry, flaky, itchy scalp. Now keep in mind, glycolic acid is not the same thing as salicylic acid. We do know that salicylic acid has better oil penetrating properties, which is often why it is used to treat dandruff. Glycolic acid is not, which is why we don't see it being as effective at treating dandruff. However, it can certainly indirectly help by removing dead skin cells, which both can contribute to inflammation and act as food for the Malassezia yeast that can drive dandruff. So if you have dry, itchy, flaky scalp, you use a lot of products to your scalp, I think using this as an scalp exfoliant once a week can be very helpful. Again, I recommend limiting the use no more than 1 to 2 times a week. And then you also want to keep in mind, if you have sensitive scalp, consider testing this one area before just applying it all over. And then it may be a little tricky to apply, and I've seen another nifty trick where people would drop a few drops of the solution into their shampoo and then massage it on their scalp, so almost creating more of a detox or clarifying shampoo and using it that way, which I actually think is pretty cool. I haven't tried it myself, but if you have, let me know in comments below how well it's worked for you. The last trick, which is my favorite, is using it for dry, calloused feet. So this is what glycolic acid chemical exfoliants are really meant to do, is to go in, kind of softening that dead skin buildup that over time contributes to thickened feet, calloused feet, and then over time help to soften, reduce the dead skin buildup so you can get your baby soft feet back. And so I really love this trick. The skin on our feet is much thicker, it's more durable, and so in this situation, you can certainly use it on a more regular basis as needed. The only caveat to be careful of, and this is true for most exfoliants, is if you have any sort of fissures or cracks in your skin. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but sometimes if you apply an alpha hydroxy acid based moisturizer to your legs after shaving, it may sting in certain areas. That is because acids themselves, when applied on little damaged skin, so cuts, fissures, and cracks, it will burn. It's not really doing a lot of harm to your skin per se, but it can cause some temporary discomfort. So you just have to be careful. If you have super dry, cracked feet, then you may want to hold off applying this until your skin has healed up. But in general, if your heels are just thickened with dead skin buildup, using this on a regular basis can really help to soften that area and make it more easier for you to potentially file it down if you do that intermittently, a few times a month, or just over time on its own will reduce that thickened skin, help to soften the skin, and also help better hydrate your feet, so that way it reduces the likelihood of that thickened skin, dry skin to build up over time. So one trick I love is after the shower every day, when your feet is still soft and damp, and if you don't shower at night, then you can maybe soak your feet in lukewarm water for like 5 to 10 minutes until they're softened and damp. Apply this toning solution to where you're needed, and then apply a layer of petrolatum. This is one instance I do recommend kind of occluding something slightly irritating it, which in general I do not recommend for the face. Put on a pair of socks and you sleep in that. And if you do that repeatedly over the course of a few weeks to a month, you will wake up one day with noticeably baby soft feet. And so that is something worth trying if you do struggle a lot with calloused, dry feet and just have a hard time improving that. Now on the same note, you can also use this on the body to tackle keratosis pilaris as well as strawberry legs, or use it a few times a month to areas where you shave to help reduce shaving bumps. You just have to be careful because it is a pretty high concentration. Even though you're using on maybe limited areas of your body that may be a little more tolerant of an exfoliant compared to say your face or neck, you still want to limit the use. You know, maybe some individuals could use it on a regular basis like daily, but otherwise 3 times a week can be very helpful over time at reducing those bumps and those clogged hair follicles. The other thing you want to be careful of is any sort of exfoliants, whether it's glycolic or lactic acid, when used on your body, does thin out the top layer of your skin, so it makes you more likely to burn. So you want to be extra good about sun protection if you are going to be using it on your body. Alright guys, so that is my review of the Ordinary Glycolic Acid 7% Toning Solution and the ways that I think it can be used. And again, my favorite is of course for the dry cracked feet. So let me know what you think of this product and if you've tried any of these hacks and how well they've worked for you. Again, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what other viral products or hacks you want me to talk about. Leave them in the comments below. I'll see you guys next time.